Heading out to show you the Reeves we got. The last video I did, I was showing you our expansion of how we did our pen, but this time I'm going to go show you the Reeves themselves. So away we go. My wife's done a little bit of changing from the last video. She removed the tarp so to let more light in. The idea of this is to hopefully, since they're about 6 months old, or at least we were told that when we bought them. We bought them from PurelyPoutry, and so we got 2 pairs, and they're supposed to be between 6 and 8 months old. So we're not exactly certain how old these are. However, they seem to be doing quite well in this pen. It's not having a problem at all. Feeding our Reeves, we like to use mealworms, bird seed. It's a mixed bird seed. It has millet and all kinds of stuff in it, and mealworms, and we also put some Purina 30% game bird feed in there, and we also feed sunflower seeds. Unlike our ornamentals, the Reeves, they just swallow the whole seed whole, but we figure the oil is something good for them, so especially when it gets cold here in the greenhouse, it seems to work quite well. Alright, on to the Reeves. There's 3 of them, 2 females and a male, hopping back and forth. When they came from PurelyPoutry, the males' tails really didn't look all that grand, and they probably won't until they go through a molt. Then they'll grow longer. That's the way that tail there is, but they're not always the same anyway, because we've had 2 before, and they're not always the same. So he's just hopping back and forth. He's a little nervous. We've only had these, we got these December 20th. And so we've just had them a little over a month. But we're really enjoying them. There's the other one up here. And he's got a little longer tail, a little better looking. And they're doing quite well in here. So yeah, we're quite happy with them. I built these roosting posts, holes here for them to go on. It's just 2x4s and a piece of alder wood that we got from northeastern Washington. Our daughter was using them to hold up a tarp, so we threw them in the truck, brought them home, and then I just used some rounds to hold them, you know, to make them heavy, because we use plastic underneath all this wood chips on the floor, and we also have chicken wire netting under there as well. So you can see a better picture of her and him, sizes and whatnot. And we put some other rounds in here just to give them something to do, something to hop on. We give them this area over here. They just like just stuff to do. That's one of the things that you have to do when you have a small space. Give them something to do. Otherwise they'll just go spastic and go crazy and out of boredom, I would assume. So this works out well. From our from the past, we're still using the same waterers. They learn quite quickly how to drink from the same waterers that the quail across the way there use. So that's working out well. The pen here, we're up about this greenhouse is about about 10 feet tall, and we're up about 9.5 feet. So it gives them some headroom to jump around on and have a good time in here. So it's working out well. Very, very happy with it. When you order birds from the from places, wherever you get them from, you know, these were you know, 6 months old, as I said before. And when you order birds like that, they'll ship them to you live, and then you have to go down to your local post office to pick them up. Well, my wife don't drive, so she had to take a taxi to go down and pick them up, which was quite fun, putting 4 birds in this huge box in a taxi to haul home. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, so enjoyed that. I was at work, so I didn't get to see it, but yeah. Anyway, that's how we got the birds home. So how she got them home, and yeah. Oh, and by the way, does anybody else name their pheasants? Just asking that question. Just this is a thought to hit my head. My wife named ours. The Reeves that we have over here in this pen. We have Lenny and Lex. And we have Heidi and Handy. Heidi is the one who normally hides in the corner all the time, of course. And Handy is quite handy around her. So, yeah, so we have Lenny and Lex. And how my wife determined who was going to be Lenny and Lex was she went in here one day and said, all right, who's Lenny, who's Lex? And the one pair stepped up and said, okay. She said, okay, you two are now Lenny and Lex. So obviously the other two became Heidi and Handy. So, yeah. So does anybody else name theirs? Just curious. Let me know. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and like. And if you want to make some comments, and I'd really like to know, does anybody else name their pheasants? Or any of their birds for that matter? Just curious. So let me know. Have a great day. Bye.